Food is half the battle, guys. Anybody can work out. Anyone can work out, but food is always the toughest part. Hey there, Coach Devin here. The number one question I get and the number one comment I get from people, both from my online clients and in person, is I'm having a hard time sticking with the meal plan, Devin. I hear that one all the time. Devin, the exercise is going well, I'm doing it, but the meal, it's hard to eat better, Devin. I'm falling off, I made some mistakes, whatever it happens to be. And people get down on themselves and they ask me, how do I stick with a good meal plan? How do I stick with a good diet? How do I do this? Well, I'm going to give you 3 real simple ways to get yourself out of the funk of thinking that you're doing badly with your meal plan. Before we get going, please hit that heart down below to like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. Comment if you have ways that you have managed to stay on track for your meal planning. That would be awesome. Or staying healthy in general. I'd love to hear from people. Obviously, a lot of these videos are made because people write me things, and I try to respond to them and help people out there. And if you hit the bell on the other side, it'll tell you when I make the next video after you subscribe. So please like, subscribe, share this with your friends. My goal has always been to help more people get more fit and healthy. This is my passion. This is what I love. It's about the only thing I'm really any good at. So I always want more people to see it because there's a ton of false news out there. All right. So how do you stick with a meal plan? Really, the question is, what do you do after you screw up? That really, when you boil it right down, is the actual question, because everybody's saying, oh man, I screwed up, I'm having a hard time sticking with it. What are some tricks? Well, I'm going to give you 3 simple things to keep in mind when you are trying to change your diet. Number 1, first one, most important one bad meal doesn't mean it's the end of the day. Okay, lots of people get into this headspace of, I had a donut, or I had a cookie, or I had something was bad for me, the day is over. I'm just gonna go full out and eat a bunch of shit all day long. And that's their headspace, because they're like, well, it's too late now. It's not too late now. The great thing about health and fitness is it's very hard. It takes time to get fit and it takes time to get unfit, right? It takes time to get fit and time to get unfit. It's not instantaneous. So if you have a bad meal, it's not the end of the world. Why is it not the end of the world? Because how many calories did you eat in that bad meal? Keep in mind, you need 3,500 extra calories above and beyond what you need to be alive just to gain 1 pound of fat. But did you eat 3,500 calories in a meal? I can tell you this right now, you probably didn't. I know it because 3,500 calories, I don't even eat that much in a day most times. So if I'm not eating 3,500 calories in a day, how are you eating it in one meal? So once you have a bad meal, once you fall off track with one meal, it doesn't mean the day's over. In fact, you have an opportunity to do well in the next meal. Keep that in mind all the time, keep in your head, well, you know what? I screwed up this time, but I can get better. I will get better. The next meal will be good. As long as the next meal is good, that's what's important. You get a reset every single day. And every single meal you get a reset. And it's an opportunity to do that much better. So don't get down on yourself if you screw up once. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't, because you know what? You can't put yourself that far off. One screw up is not a big deal. 4 days or 5 days of screw ups, yeah, now you can gain you actually might gain a pound of fat because maybe you ate too much. I don't know. But what I can tell you is if you're constantly grinding on yourself over one meal and then saying the day is over, bad things are going to happen. That's number 1. Number 2, prep your food. Plan, guys. There's an old saying that I think applies here, and is a failure to plan means you're just going to fail. I don't know if that's actually the old saying. Failure to plan is failing to succeed. It's something like that. Anyway, the bottom line here is very, very simple. If you don't plan, you will make mistakes and have problems. It's just a fact. You 100% will do that. So, food prep. Plan what you're going to eat. I know what I'm going to bring to work the next day to eat. Have it ready. Take it out of the fridge, put it in my bag. Take it to work, put it in the fridge. Eat that. Don't eat anything else. Plan what you're going to eat and then eat it. Even in your breakfast, plan what your breakfast is. You know what the breakfast is. You know what you're going to do. Plan it, then eat it. Lunch, plan it and eat it. Supper, plan. Don't come home going, man, what am I going to eat today? Holy shit, it's too late to figure it out. No, plan. You can plan out an entire week. It's actually, little pro tip here, it's actually cheaper if you plan out the week. Just so you know, you'll actually save money by planning ahead. It actually works that way. If you can save money planning ahead. So plan out your week. What are you going to eat this week for supper? Make more of it so you have it for, lunch or whatever the next day. There's an easy fix, right? And as long as it's healthy, now you've had 2 healthy meals instead of 1, and you only had to cook it once, right? Saves you time, saves you energy, and it saves you money because you planned ahead instead of going out to eat it wherever you happen to be planning to go out to eat. You're going to save money on that. So you will be healthier and you'll save yourself some money. Yeah, you're welcome. You know what? It is amazing how many people realize, once they start to plan their food a little bit, that they go, wow, I'm saving a ton of cash. Yeah, you can. Going out to eat is very expensive. I took my family out to eat the other day. We went out for lunch. It was not cheap. There was only 4 of us out of the total 6, right? My daughter JJ was working and my other daughter Mila was with her dad. So there's only 4 of us and it was expensive. It wasn't cheap just to go out to eat breakfast. You can save a ton of money if you buy your own food and cook your own food. You also have control of what you're eating. So that's number 2. Make sure you buy your food, prep your food, plan your food. That will get you ahead of the curve. It really will. So number 1 was don't get down on yourself when you screw up. Number 2, plan and prep ahead of time, and you'll do better. You'll be happier. Things will do better. Number 3, and this is one I tell people every day. Every single day, track your calories. I say it all the time, and you know what? If you know what you're eating, then you're ahead of the ballpark, right? You know how many calories you need in a day. If you don't, I'm going to tell you right now, it is your body weight in pounds times 10. Okay, so I'm 225 pounds roughly. I need 2,250 calories a day to be alive. If I exercise another 400 calories, now I need 2,950 calories to maintain my body weight. So you can do that math yourself. Body weight in pounds times 10, and then add in whatever exercise you need. If you want to lose weight, cut some calories. Easy, right? Now, the thing to keep in mind here is if you don't know how many calories you're eating, now you have a problem. So what do you do about that when you don't know how many calories you're eating? Track them. There's a ton of really good apps out there. I prefer MyFitnessPal, but there's a ton of good apps that allow you to track your food. Track it. Figure out what you're eating. 9 times out of 10, and I tell this to clients all the time, you will track your food and see several things in your day that you're like, I don't even like that much. It's like you're putting extra sauce on things, and there's dressing on stuff. You're drinking a pop. You're drinking coffee with sugar and I don't know, a sweetener or something, or creamer. I don't drink coffee really. Cream in it or whatever. And you go, wow, I can cut out 200-300 calories a day, and I really won't even notice. It's actually easy to do, but you won't know that unless you plan and look and watch what you're doing. So tracking your calories is invaluable. It gives you information. We're in an information age. We're literally swimming in an ocean of information all the time. Some of it false. There's a ton of false fitness information out there, and there's lots of good stuff. Unfortunately, the good stuff is not sexy. It's not cool. People don't really care about it, so we don't get a lot of it. That's why my YouTube channel does not blow up, because I give honest, real information instead of telling you about some, I don't know, some cleanse or on some crazy diet or whatever. I give you real information that actually works. I'm never going to blow up because it's not controversial and it's not sexy, but it is true because I've done this shit for 28 years. 28 years of doing this, and I can promise you right now, it works. If you track your calories, then you know what you're doing. Information is power. Numbers become power. You know now how many calories you're getting in, so now you know where to make cuts. If you want to lose weight, you know where to make cuts. You also know if you're overeating. You know if this is too much food or this is not enough food. You know all that stuff. So track your calories. If you track your calories, I promise you, every client I get that comes to me that wants to lose weight, every single one of them doesn't want to track their calories. No one does. But I can tell you one truism. The ones that are the most successful track their calories. If they kind of half-ass it and swing it and they're, I'm not going to really do it, guess what? Not as successful. The ones that are losing 25, 26 inches in 12 weeks or 30 inches in 12 weeks, so they're losing 25 pounds, guess what? Why are they doing that? Is because they're tracking their food. They know what they're getting. So that really is the most important rubber hits the road moment. And you know what? If you're at the end of the day and you have an extra 800 calories and you're like, well, you know what? If I want to have something junk foody and it's only 250 calories or 300 calories, you're still in a negative 500, right? You can make those decisions now if you know where you are. But if you don't know where you are, you can't make a decision. You don't know what's going on, and you may overeat very easily. It's easy to overeat these days. So those are my 3 simple ways to stay on track, not beat yourself up when you make mistakes, and you know what? In the end of the day, be more successful with your food. Food is half the battle, guys. Anybody can work out. Anyone can work out, but food is always the toughest part. But if you just follow those 3 things, food will get easier. If food gets easier, you'll be more successful and you'll be happy you did it. If you have comments, questions, things you want me to talk about, if you've tried some stuff like this before, you have a good idea for food, write it up in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Lots of my videos come from clients messaging me or people who I don't even know messaging me saying, hey, Devin, check this out, or what do you think of that? I love more information. Just like the tracking of the calories, it's always helpful. Have yourself an amazing day, everybody. Don't fight the awesome.